30?
Now, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 4 years ago,
Okay.
I was at a stop sign.
Okay, but wait. I gotta start because the story starts before you get there. Can I start?
Okay.
Okay. So, actually, I think it was 5 years ago. Gertie thinks it was 4, but about 5 years ago, I was sitting on the corner of Penn and 42nd waiting for a bus to take me to work at the Olive Garden. And I waited and waited and waited, and no bus came. I don't know what the situation was, but I was so desperate for a ride to work. I prayed that God would get me to work somehow. And maybe I thought God would just warp me there, and I'd just appear at work, but that didn't happen. And then I prayed that maybe a policeman would pick me up, but I didn't commit any serious crimes, so no one took me in. And then, when I was getting so desperate and felt like there was no way on earth I would get to work, something happens. What happened?
Well, then I happened to drive. I was going to go and get some paint. I was going to do some painting in the house. And there was a little girl sitting there behind the tree, and I stopped. And I said, "Little girl, where are you going to?" She says, "Oh, I'm going to work." And then I said, "Well, where are you going to work at?" She says, "We're at, what's this now?"
Olive Garden.
At the Olive Garden. "Well, come on, little girl, get in the car, and I'll give you a ride up there."
Yeah,
So,
and I got in the car, and we never met each other before. We never even knew who each other was, and so Gertie actually had told me, she said, "Well, I'll take you to Brookdale because I'm going to Brookdale." That's what you said first.
yeah, because I was going to get some paint.
Right, because you didn't really know who I was. And I said, "Okay, well, that's fine," but I was thinking, oh, I kind of hope she'll take me all the way, but I didn't ask for you to take me all the way.
Yeah.
But then I said, I asked you where you lived, and you said you live on
Russell Avenue North.
And I said, I go to church on Russell, and then you said...
I said, "Well, I'll take you all the way." Where do
Well,
you...
no, but you said, I go to church on Russell, too.
Yeah, that's right, too. You lived on Russell, too, so...
Well, you went to church on Russell.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
realized that we went to the same church for my whole life, and we'd never met each other before.
That's right.
Isn't that cool? And then
Yes.
she got excited, and she said, "I'm going to take you all the way to work."
That's right. I did. I took you all the way to work, and you were so happy.
I know.
And you said, "No, you don't have to do that." I said, "Yes, little girl, I'm going to take you where you're going to go to work."
Yeah, you did.
And I dropped you off down there, and
Yes,
that's what I done.
you
And then I
did.
come back, and I did my paint. I went and I got my paint. And ever since that time, I always remember you.
Oh, and I always remember
I always
you.
remember you.
Gertie.
Yeah, you always were so sweet standing there by that tree. You were kind of bending down a little bit. And
I think I was tired, so I was like sitting on the ground with my tie on.
And I said, "Well, there's that little girl. I think I better stop and ask her where she's going."
Right.
And she told me where she was going. I said, "Little girl, get in the car. I'll take you down there." So I took her for a ride. I took her all the way down where she was working at.
Yeah. All the way. She took me all the way there. And then since then, it's been 5 years, and we've done a lot together. This is our second sleepover we're having tonight.
Oh.
We just went to Dairy Queen, and we're thinking about going to Las Vegas together.
Oh,
But, Gertie,
yeah.
tell them about Taxi Bob at Dairy Queen. Tell them what just happened.
We had a Dairy Queen, and I really enjoyed it. Did you?
Yes,
Did
thank you.
It was good. It was good, wasn't
We had
it?
chocolate dipped cones. They were very good.
Yeah. Well, Molly, I really appreciate you coming here.
Thanks. Well, tell
I
them
love you
about
so much.
I love you too.
You come and you're going to sleep
I
overnight.
know, but tell them about Taxi Bob at Dairy Queen. Tell them about this story, what just happened. About that man that you didn't like.
Well, that man come up there and he says, hey, he said something
He
about...
said, "You guys look nice in that convertible. It's a nice night for a ride."
Yeah.
And then he said he thought he recognized you. And he thought Gertie
5
worked
years ago.
at a bar. He knew you from a bar. And then he gave me his business card and said that he would take me for a ride on the back of his motorcycle. And that I should give him a call. And the whole time Gertie's looking like this. She's like, "I don't like this man. I don't like this man."
I know. But he come back again, though. But he kept on talking, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Kept on
did. He
talking to
went
you.
and then he came back. Yeah,
He
was.
gave you a card. He gave you
Yeah.
a card or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm not going
we
to
didn't
call.
want him to know.
No Taxi Bob tonight.
Well, we had fun, though.
We did.
Molly, I'm
I
so
love
glad you
you.
came over
Thanks.
tonight. I'm so glad you come over to stay. I love you very much.
I love you too, Gertie.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're my sweetheart. I love
Thanks.
you.
And I thank God for answering that prayer that day, because if I hadn't prayed and asked God to give me a ride to work, I don't know if you ever would have picked me up on the corner.
No, I don't think I would have.
I think God answered the prayer. Yeah, you would have just gone right, or it would have been a green light, because it was a red light.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason you stopped.
And I stopped there, and I said, little girl, where you going?
And we didn't even know each other.
Yeah.
At all.
And you told me where you were going to work. And I said, little girl, well, just get in.
Yep.
I'm going to take you to work.
Yeah, yes,
That's
you
what
did.
I
And
know.
then we found out we go to the same church.
Same church.
I don't know if I've ever told you this part, but I got to work, and I was so excited about the story that I went up to my manager and the bartender at Olive Garden, and I was so excited, Gertie, I said, listen to what just happened. I said, I was sitting on the corner, and I prayed that God would give me a ride to work, and then this sweet lady picked me up, and I told them all about you, and then guess what? The bartender, who was not a Christian, he looked at me, and I hardly even knew him. I'd only been working there a week, and he said, wow, if that's what it's like to be a Christian, then I want to know God too. And guess what, Gertie? Because of that story, he came to church with me. His name's Sean, and he became a Christian. And I know, I'm not.
What a deal.
And my dad met with him for about 6 months to teach him about God. Isn't that awesome?
Oh.
And so our story is not just about me and you becoming good friends.
Yeah.
It's about Sean
Yeah.
seeing that God cares and answers prayers.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
You know, when we pray to him and we're honestly, and we know he knows when we're honest, he will answer our prayers.
Yes,
he will. He will. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
This story of me and you meeting on the corner, if I ever get discouraged and think that God doesn't hear or God doesn't care, I just think of this story. And I know it because, Gertie, like, not only did I get a ride to work on time from you, and not only did Sean become a Christian, but look at how we've become such good friends.
I know.
And I never would have known you. Like, you just would have been sitting in the pew at church.
And I said, that girl, where do you go to church? She said, I go to the Faith Baptist Church.
Yeah.
I picked you up in Faith Baptist, and I took you to work, and oh, honey.
I know.
That was a blessing.
And Gertie and I have gone on convertible rides, and she took me to a German restaurant one time, and she flirted with the manager, and so I think he gave us a discount, didn't he? Something happened. He gave us extra food, or I don't know. But I called her Flirty Gertie from then on.
I know.
And then, we've had a lot of fun. We went to Nicollet Island, and I showed you where I was going to get married.
Yeah.
And I told you that you would be in my wedding. You get to walk down the aisle and sit in a special seat. Your name will be in the bulletin as my adopted grandma.
I'm waiting for that.
Me too.
I'm praying to God. He's going to be helping me. He's going to help me.
Good. So you'll stay around
and
for that.
I'm waiting for you and to get an honest man and a nice man and a good man and a good Christian.
Yes, someone who loves
Really.
God a lot.
I really.
Good.
I really am praying for you
Thank
too.
you.
Love you.
I love you too. Mwah. Should we watch the video?
Yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch
I hope
it.
it worked. Yay.
Let's watch
Oh,
it.
good.
For all you've done, for all you do, for what I have, I thank you. For who you are, you love me so. With thanksgiving let my life overflow, overflow.
What are your thoughts about the cheese balls?
Well, they're really nice. Man, living, aren't they really something?
Yeah, well, what was your first impression when you saw me come in with them?
Well, I couldn't figure out where you were and where you, who you came with, and I looked, I didn't see a car, and there's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
There's a motorcycle, yeah.
And then I have my cheese balls. What do you think about my cheese balls?
Oh, I like them.
Yeah? What do you like about them?
Well, they're nice.
Yeah?
They're nice.
Gertie, I love you.
They're nice.
I love you, Gertie.
They're nice.
Aw, thanks.
Cute. Look at them little teeth balls.